Joining us now on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin is Rob Demovsky, the bold, the bald, the beautiful. How are you?
Wait, Brad's baby doesn't have a name yet?
So it's been a week and a half, Rob, and
What?
and I texted the day after. So he was born last Saturday. On Sunday, I said, "Okay, do we have a name?" And he said, "Not yet. We're thinking of one, or we're working on one, whatever." Then a full week and a day, 8 days went by, and on Monday this happened.
I go, hey, Brad, obviously we're live on the air right now. We are genuinely confused. Why haven't you told us the name of your child? Is that for a certain reason? We will respect it if so. He then follows up, we had a few names picked out before he was born, and then when we saw him, we felt like none of them really looked like him, so we're trying to finalize a new one. Hasn't been 100% confirmed, but we're trying to nail it down.
Well, this should be like this is like a new Hear Brad Out thing. You don't have to name your kid until he starts talking, and then he can pick his own name.
Right?
There you go.
I'm just like, also like, babies don't really look like anything. Like, you know, they change a lot. Like to try and put a name to the face that's going to be changing every day is tough. But hey, to each their own, right?
Yeah. Well, sorry, I know that's not what you had me on to talk about, but
Well, hold on. Now, real quick follow up, then we'll get to the Packers. You have two boys. How long did it take you and your wife to name them?
Well, we had the names picked out, boy or girl, beforehand, and Hogan was the boy. And
But what if it didn't look like him?
Well, he became a boy. He was a boy, and we got Hogan. We had with Roan, who is also a boy. We had Rowan if it was a girl, and we just took the W out and made it Roan for a boy.
Oh.
So it was adaptable. See, we had a name that was, sort of.
But you had it figured out instantaneously.
Yeah, I mean,
as
we
do
had it figured
I feel
out
like
at
96%.
Yeah.
I feel like 99% of the population does that. Brad's an interesting cat.
Fascinating. Okay, anyway.
That being said, Rob, I literally just opened up Twitter and saw the injury report that you put up. And a little side note, you want to share with the audience?
Yeah, so it's first of all, Micah Parsons is not listed anymore, so that quote-unquote back injury seems to have gone away. I wonder if they made a deal with them. Hey, we'll put you on there with a back for 2 weeks just to make it look good, and then that's it, we're done. But the more serious and important note is that there's no such thing as two players being the same listing, even though they're both listed as limited. And in that regard, I'm talking about the two offensive linemen, Zach Tom and Aaron Banks. They're both listed as limited, but we talked to Zach Tom, and this is why we do what we do. We go into the locker room and we talk to these guys. And Zach Tom told us he didn't do any team work, meaning 11 on 11, only did a little individual. And he said he still really can't run straight ahead. Meanwhile, Aaron Banks said, I'm good to go. I'm playing on Sunday. So
both listed as limited.
Correct. So now they'll both probably be listed as questionable on Friday. But it sure did not sound very good for Zach Tom, but it did sound pretty positive for Aaron Banks.
Now, we've been talking a lot about this Browns defense because I think, in my opinion, people are doing the right thing and not overlooking the opponent. But I also think that through two games, the Packers have shown us something that you should be confident in. And it's not that, I'm not looking over the Browns, but Joe Flacco threw 45 times and had a 4.4 yards per pass. He can't move. Yeah. I don't see a way, even if the Cleveland defense plays well, that they beat the Packers.
Here's the thing. Ben, if they lose this game and people would say, "Oh, see, they overlooked them," and now that they're before the game that they're talking about how tough the Browns defense is, it's almost like they're saying that just so we can't say they overlooked them, right? There's certain games where you look on paper and I realize as a player and a coach, you have to prepare for every game, as if it's the most important one because it's the next one. But
man, you must have heard that once or twice in your life.
Well, yeah, it feels to me like they're grasping at straws just to make everyone, realize that they're not overlooking them by praising the Browns defense. But boy, I don't see how this Browns team has, the firepower to keep up offensively. And even if their defense is good, the Packers have been good enough offensively to offset that.
Rob, you have an esteemed journalism degree from The Ohio University, correct?
Well, I have a journalism degree from there. I don't know how esteemed it is, but
well,
yes,
just roll with me.
They did send me a diploma. Okay, sorry.
Did you ever think in the beginning of one of your articles on ESPN.com, you'd write the quote, "Packers to the bowl, bruh," Reed said. "I'm good. Thank you for the bruh. But we turnt, bruh. We go in all the bleeping way, bruh. That's 4 bruhs in a quote. Did you ever think this is where you'd wind up? And what'd you make of Jaden Reed's Instagram Live yesterday?
In 1993, when I graduated from Ohio University, I don't think anyone had used the term "bra." Like, I don't think. At least I don't remember that. It's funny. A lot of the things that I thought I was going to do when I was in journalism school turned out not to be the case. But look, I don't know if you ever had your wisdom teeth taken out. That's the closest thing I can come to with most people having gone under anesthesia, and the things that people say when they come out of it.
Truth serum
is hilarious, just absolutely hilarious. And obviously, this is more serious than wisdom teeth, but same effect. But I always made sure when my kids had their wisdom teeth taken out, I had the video rolling when they woke up because you knew they were going to say something funny.
Can you put on that journalist hat and find out if they did both surgeries at the same time? Like if one was at the bottom half of his foot and one was doing the clavicle?
Good follow-up.
Or if they did them separately?
That is a good question. I will certainly ask.
It's not that good of a question. I'm just curious.
No, but I would assume that they did it under one one time knocked out.
Yes.
But I do wonder if they did them one after another. I doubt that somebody was working on the foot while the other guy was working on the collarbone.
But I imagine that's different surgeons, so you could do it at the same time.
Well, you could. Yeah, you certainly could. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know when we see Jayden back in the locker room, we'll have to ask him if he knows. He probably doesn't even know.
No, probably not. What I do want to revisit is what we'd asked you. Help me remember, because I asked this to Tausch and I believe Jason Monday, Tuesday, into you Wednesday. Who do you think will benefit the most from Micah Parsons being on this team? I believe you said the cornerbacks. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is.
You said Keyshawn Nixon. Yeah, yep. And so I just wanted to get that right because Keyshawn Nixon with 5 pass breakups, he's able to sit back and really attack right away because these quarterbacks don't have time.
Right.
So I guess bravo to you for being right so far.
Yeah, you can take more chances too. When you're pretty sure the ball is going to come out quicker, you can jump what might be concerned with as a double move, but it's not going to be a double move because there's not going to be time for him to make a double move. So I do think that that does allow that to happen. The one thing is, when you go back and watch it, I don't really think much of Keyshawn's was on Terry McLaurin, who was their number 1 receiver. So just because you're the number 1 corner in this system doesn't mean you're always going to cover the number 1 receiver. So while Keyshawn had an outstanding game, really, 5 pass breakups. It's been 4 years since anyone in the NFL has had 5 pass breakups in a game before Keyshawn.
Eric Stokes didn't have that in his entire career.
Eric Stokes, you're probably right. He didn't have a pass breakup, hasn't had one since 2021, his rookie year, and since I don't think he's in the league, it's probably going to stay that way. Is he in the league?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. He was on the Falcons for a brief stint last year, but I don't think he's in the league.
Yeah.
I guess I did, Benny. That's a good point by you. I didn't even think of that. I don't think Eric Stokes had more than a couple in 21.
Well, he went over 1,000 snaps without a pass breakup.
I remember that being one of your favorite. Well, maybe not favorite.
Yeah.
But it was one of your go-to stats a couple years ago.
Yeah. 1,000 snaps without a pass. You'd think a ball would hit you in the shoulder pad just by accident. You get a PBU for it.
ESPN NFL Nation reporter Rob Demovsky with us here on KBN, here on ESPN Wisconsin. Hey, so Matthew Golden, last Thursday, Love either under or overthrew him on what would have been 2 big plays. Right. But I saw this stat I'd never heard of, the ASS rating, Rob, the average separation score, and he leads all receivers in the league through 2 weeks on that. Are you expecting a relative breakout from him now with the absence of both Watson and Reed, at least for the next 3 or 4 games?
You would think so, Alex, and I really hope we get a chance to talk to Golden in the locker room. He wasn't in there today, but hopefully tomorrow, because I think I want to ask him this question, and you tell me if this is crazy, but as good as he was in training camp, I wonder if he thought, hey, this was just going to be easy and I'm going to get, 5 or 6 catches every game just by, just because I showed how easy it was. And I wonder what his sort of takeaway is after 2 games where he only has 2 catches and he's got a couple rushes, but not a whole lot of significant production. Because I mean, we talked about it during training camp, day after day after day. The guy was making big plays down the field. He was catching everything thrown at him. Now, neither of those 2 balls on Sunday were catchable. I mean, they badly underthrew the 4th down play. Where Jordan said today he thought that they had 12 men on the field and thought it was a free play. And then the deep ball he just missed it. He just overthrew it. So neither of those are on Matthew Golden. However, I'm sure he probably, or I shouldn't say I'm sure, I don't want to assume. I wonder if he thought he was going to get more than 2 targets every game right away.
I just need to clear this up. Eric Stokes on the Raiders was on the field against the Chargers.
Wow.
2 tackles.
Okay. Did he pick up a pass?
I think PD is either
Pass defense.
PD.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure because I think he got one. So he's
Wow.
catching up.
He's
The streak
still
is
in the
over.
league.
Yes, he's on the Raiders.
The streak.
I did not realize that.
Rob, look, it's really easy to get ahead of your skis through 2 weeks, but
Yeah.
the Packers are 4th in odds to win the Super Bowl. They've jumped the Commanders and the Lions. They're the 2nd best odds to win the NFC. They have a favorable schedule. And when I say favorable, the Browns are no good. The Cowboys gave up 500 yards to Russell Wilson. You get a bye, and then you don't play Joe Burrow. There's a good shot they're 4-1, 5-0. Very good shot, right?
Yeah.
So when you think
I think
about
there's
that,
a good shot they're undefeated going into that Philly game, which is week 8 or 9.
that would be 8-0 heading into the Philly game. So with that, do you think, because I know you said I'd take this to the window, you're not saying you would bet, but don't you think if you believe in this team now, it's probably the best time to go bet on them to win the Super Bowl? Because if they just keep on winning, those odds are going to shoot down.
You're not going to get the return on your money, I wouldn't think. But yeah, it's a great point. I mean, here's the one
so
thing.
So do you believe it? Like do you believe in this team?
Yeah, I do. I really do. And I mean, I thought even before they got Micah Parsons, they were going to be, a factor. And I really thought, to be honest, I thought they were the favorite to win the division because, we talked about this before. The Lions lost both coordinators. I think that's a real factor. The J.J. McCarthy thing, I don't care how good Minnesota's roster is going into the season. J.J. McCarthy had not proven anything, and, now he's hurt. So I don't think anything's changed there. And people who thought Ben Johnson was going to just instantly turn around Chicago, well, obviously that hasn't happened either. So to me, it starts with the division. They've got to get home playoff games. I mean, it's too hard a road to just have to go on the road every time in the playoffs and get to a Super Bowl. It's not impossible. It's just too hard. And if you think about when's the last time these guys had a home playoff game, it was not in the Jordan Love era. So they need to play at home to establish themselves. And I think that my money would have been on that to begin with, which therefore gives you a great chance to make a run.
Well, Rob believes. If you believe, you know what to do. Rob, we appreciate the time. We'll talk to you next week.
If you believe, you know what to do.
Go to Pop.
All right, guys, let's work on that name, Nortman, if you're listening.
We'll pass it along. I'll actually text him right now.